My tradition, as you guys know from my last speech, I have 3 little ones, and it's the Elf on the Shelf. It was originally started by Carol, one of the founders, in 1974 as a child. One of her parents gave her a pixie elf. As she explains, and on the Creative Classic Activities and Books website, last accessed November 1st of this year, she goes on by explaining the fact that it was an elf sent by Santa that was there to spy on them. Making sure that, Santa has all these places in the entire world that he has to keep track of, all these little kids, and we need to give these little elves, their helpers, some assistance on telling Santa what people did right or wrong. I'll give this around, let people look at it. This is one that, it comes with a book, The Elf on the Shelf. You can purchase that. If no one's ever heard of Elf on a Shelf, there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can celebrate this tradition. It's started out as a thing where you put it on a shelf and it just sits there. You can't touch it or anything along those lines because you'll ruin its magic if you touch the elf. That's kind of the origins of the book and everything along those lines. And then back in 2004, when they first started out, it was Carol and her daughter sat down to have a cup of tea and be like, let's work out how we can create this tradition and expand it to the world and let everyone else see what it's like to have this great little elf that's watching you and trying to get into mischief, doing different things. And so they basically maxed all of their credit. They did their whole life savings on Elf on a Shelf to create this, the CCAB publisher and things along those lines. And it was a success. And to this day, there's a lot. It's been exploded over the past 5 years. It originally was released in 2006. And one of the things that Carol said in one of the quotes in actually this book, Elf on a Shelf, which was published again in 2006, it gives you the freedom to be creative. Be creative with Elf on a Shelf. We have set a tradition for you to follow and do with what you will. So that was the history, which I didn't go over. So we're going to talk about the history, about the different implications that people are using Elf on a Shelf today, and then my family's tradition with it. And people are doing it today. You can YouTube it. There's a whole bunch. My favorite one is a dad's blog. He dresses up his little son and as that little elf and puts him in all these weird, funny, different situations, being either in the fridge, on top of a shower curtain, or things along those lines. It's just really funny to see how creative people are getting. Me and my family, we do a different twist on it. Our celebration is Glory's an elf. We try to reflect on what our children need help with. Do they need help learning how to share? Or do they need help learning how to care for one another, care for a family member? So we'll try and implement that into the Christmas season. So I had to ninja-like get Glory out so my kids wouldn't see, because she goes away on December 26th after Christmas and doesn't come back again until December 1st. And the last 2 years that we've been doing it, the first year she got into a whole bunch of messes because Emma, when she was 4, liked to get into things. She liked to make a mess with the eggs, get into the refrigerator. And so we did a whole bunch of things along those lines, setting up Glory, and it was a great experience for them to wake up, what the heck did she do today? And go, and they would have to clean up after Glory. And realizing it's not fun to make a mess and then someone else have to clean it up. And it was a lesson that we taught them over the Christmas season, influencing with our roots as Christianity in teachings through the Bible as well, that allowed us to really help guide our children in a sense, being better people. Not just having better behaved kids or anything along those lines. Not trying to program them at all. I'm just wanting them to understand a little bit more on there's consequences for life. And it's just something that's been great and enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. It's a big hassle though, don't get me wrong. You have to plan it out. It's not like, oh, tonight, what are we gonna do? Because it takes time, it takes preparation. And it's a new tradition that's ever evolving, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you have kids. If you don't have kids, you can try doing it with your roommate, it might be funny. But other than that, you know, it's a great way to just envelop another season, another tradition that just makes you happy, makes you enjoy yourselves. Because this world is, you know, crazy. And having those moments of joy with friends, family, or your children, it's great to have. Thank you.